Genesis chapter 7. And Jehovah said unto Noah, Come thou and all thy house into the ark, for thee have I seen righteous before me in this generation. Of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee 7 and 7, the male and his female, and of the beasts that are not clean too, the male and his female, of the birds also of the heavens 7 and 7, male and female, to keep seed alive upon the face of all the earth. For yet 7 days, and I will cause it to rain upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. And every living thing that I have made will I destroy from off the face of the ground. And Noah did according unto all that Jehovah commanded him. And Noah was 600 years old when the flood of waters was upon the earth. And Noah went in, and his sons, and his wife, and his sons' wives with him, into the ark, because of the waters of the flood, of clean beasts, and of beasts that are not clean, and of birds, and of everything that creepeth upon the ground. There went in 2 and 2 unto Noah into the ark, male and female, as God commanded Noah. And it came to pass after the 7 days, that the waters of the flood were upon the earth. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, on the 17th day of the month, on the same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened. And the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. In the selfsame day entered Noah, and Shem, and Ham, and Japheth, the sons of Noah, and Noah's wife, and the 3 wives of his sons with them, into the ark, they and every beast after its kind, and all the cattle after their kind, and every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth after its kind, and every bird after its kind, every bird of every sort. And they went in unto Noah into the ark, 2 and 2 of all flesh, wherein is the breath of life. And they that went in male and female of all flesh, as God commanded him, and Jehovah shut him in. And the flood was 40 days upon the earth, and the waters increased, and bare up the ark, and it was lifted up above the earth. And the waters prevailed, and increased greatly upon the earth. And the ark went upon the face of the waters, and the waters prevailed exceedingly upon the earth. And all the high mountains that were under the whole heaven were covered. 15 cubits upward did the waters prevail, and the mountains were covered. And all flesh died that moved upon the earth, both birds and cattle and beasts, and every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, and every man, all in whose nostrils was the breath of the Spirit of life, of all that was on the dry land, died, and every living thing was destroyed that was upon the face of the ground, both man and cattle, and creeping things, and birds of the heavens. And they were destroyed from the earth. And Noah only was left, and they that were with him in the ark. And the waters prevailed upon the earth 150 days. Explication of Genesis chapter 7. And Jehovah said unto Noah, Come thou and all thy house into the ark. Come thou and all thy house. God's invitation to Noah reflects his provision of salvation for Noah and his family. It demonstrates God's mercy, not just for Noah individually, but for those closely connected to him. This highlights the communal aspect of God's redemptive work. Into the ark. The ark serves as a symbol of safety and refuge, representing God's means of preserving life during the coming judgment. It points to the theme of salvation, which requires obedience and trust in God's instructions. For thee have I seen righteous before me in this generation. Righteous before me. Noah's righteousness is emphasized as the reason for his selection. His righteousness is not based on perfection, but on his faith and obedience to God, which distinguished him from the corrupt generation around him. Genesis 6:9. This echoes the principle of salvation through faith, as seen in Hebrews 11:7, which commends Noah's faith. In this generation, this phrase underscores the stark contrast between Noah and his contemporaries, who were described as corrupt and filled with violence. Genesis 6:11. Noah's righteousness stands out in a world consumed by wickedness. Of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee 7 and 7, the male and his female. Clean beast. This is the first mention of clean animals in the Bible, though the concept is more fully developed later in the Mosaic Law, Leviticus 11. Clean animals were likely designated for sacrifice and perhaps for consumption after the flood. Genesis 8:20, 9:3. 7 and 7. The instruction to bring 7 pairs of clean animals reflects their significance. It ensures an adequate number for both preservation and future sacrificial offerings, pointing to the importance of worship and thanksgiving in the post-flood world. And of the beasts that are not clean 2, the male and his female. 2, the male and his female. The inclusion of a single pair of unclean animals emphasizes God's care for all species, ensuring the continuation of life and the ecological balance of creation. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, on the 17th day of the month. Specificity of the timing. The precise date emphasizes the historical and monumental nature of the flood. This is not presented as a myth or vague event, but as a real occurrence in Noah's lifetime, marked by an exact day. 600th year of Noah's life. Noah's advanced age highlights his remarkable longevity, characteristic of the pre-flood patriarchs. It also underscores his role as a central figure in this pivotal moment in history. The inclusion of specific dates invites readers to see the flood as part of God's carefully orchestrated plan, emphasizing his sovereignty over time and events. On the same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up. Fountains of the great deep. This phrase refers to subterranean waters bursting forth, possibly through tectonic or geological upheavals. It suggests that the flood was not solely caused by rainfall, but also involved dramatic shifts within the earth itself. This imagery conveys the scale and violence of the flood. The breaking up of the fountains reflects the unleashing of chaos, reversing the order established during creation, Genesis 1:9 through 10, when waters were gathered into one place. The great deep breaking up symbolizes a return to primordial chaos, an undoing of creation's boundaries. And the windows of heaven were opened. Windows of heaven. This phrase evokes imagery of torrential rain pouring down from above, as if the heavens themselves are being opened to release the stored waters. This complements the bursting of the deep, creating a deluge from both above and below. The opening of the heavens signifies God's direct involvement in the flood, reinforcing that this event is a divine act of judgment and not merely a natural disaster. The combination of waters from above and below underscores the overwhelming and comprehensive nature of the flood, symbolizing the totality of judgment. Key themes and reflections. And all flesh died that moved upon the earth. All flesh died. This phrase underscores the totality of the destruction. The judgment affects all living creatures on the earth, emphasizing the severity of the flood that moved upon the earth. This includes all terrestrial creatures, those dependent on the land for their survival. It reflects the widespread impact of humanity's sin, which brought devastation not only to humans, but also to the rest of creation. Both birds and cattle and beasts and every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. The list of creatures mirrors the creation account in Genesis 1, where God created these beings to inhabit the earth. Here, the flood reverses the creative order, bringing death to the same categories of life that God originally blessed. The inclusion of birds emphasizes the reach of the flood, as even creatures that can fly were not spared, further demonstrating the overwhelming nature of the event. And every man, the ultimate focus of this judgment, is humanity. As the pinnacle of creation and the primary bearer of God's image, humanity is held accountable for the corruption and violence that filled the earth. Genesis 6:11-13. The judgment on every man underscores the universality of sin's consequences. No one outside of Noah's family is spared.